Hello and welcome to the Forex Market Weekly Outlook for April 19 to 23, 2021. Okay, we're going to go straight and take a look at what the market is doing for this week, how the market ended last, and what we are expecting for this week. But before we do, my name is Olugbemi, your host and trainer on the MS Africa Academy, and I will ask that you subscribe to this channel if you have not done so that you can continue to enjoy free trading tips that I share here from time to time. Now, we want to look at the disclaimer that futures, stock, spot currency tradings have large potential rewards, the same way they have large potential risks. So you want to be aware of the risk involved in trading and be willing to accept them before you put your money into the market to trade Forex or whatever other market instrument you want to trade. Now we're going to go straight to the web, but before we go into the real chart, we want to look at the Forex factory and see what's high impact news we have for this week that may affect whatever we choose to trade for the week. From Monday through Tuesday, we don't have high impact news. Most of the news are low impact, as you can see from the color of the folders here. But on Wednesday, first thing, we have NZD high impact news on Wednesday. Then we have some medium impact news on Aussie dollar and British pound. We also have on British pound again, Canadian dollar, but mainly the high impact news is on New Zealand dollar on Wednesday and Canadian dollar by 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Okay. Um, okay, that's it for we have Canadian dollar high impact news, medium impact news on US dollar, and then on Thursday we have Euro high impact news. That's it, and then Friday, do we have high impact news? Yes, we have Euro again on Friday, and we have medium impact news for Great Britain, British pound. Okay, so let's move on to the chart and see what's happening there. From the chart, we can see that dollar currency index is currently pushing down. Let's look at it on the weekly. Let's focus more on the weekly time frame. So this is dollar currency index, and for the last 2 weeks to the third week, it's been pushing down. As we can see, dollar is currently pushing down. Last week candle closed with a bearish candle, and today's candle has started pushing down. So in whole, dollar is currently weak and it may remain weak for some times. And if it is weak, we have an idea of how we want to trade dollar for now. Okay. So now that we know dollar is weak, then likely Euro USD. Euro is strong, then we'll be looking to do a buy with Euro. Okay. I have this here already based on my strategy of quarter rectangle strategy, and I can see that there is a close okay, as at last week the candle was just lying below this my quarter line, and now today's candle has pushed above it. It hasn't closed yet, but it is above it right now. So if it remains above it, then we'll be looking to buy up to this point. Okay, we'll be looking for it to push up to this point. All right, although as it pushed early on Monday this way, we may see some retracement before the continuation, and it may retrace down before it continues up. Okay, then we go to Euro GBP. So for Euro USD, our bias is bullish for now. Our bias remains bullish for now. And then we have Euro GBP, and our bias. Looking at the candle that closed last, it's a little bit dicey because that looks like some retracement to this big push which started the week before. However, it is not impossible for it to continue to push down. Looking at the kind of candle that closed last week and having the candle being with a long wick above it. Let me use the 50 moving average also. Okay, so with the 50 moving average, it remains below our 50 moving average, also remained below this my trend line. Okay, so in all, it looks more bearish, but it can also continue to push up. So as long as you remain below this my area 0.865 8685, as long as it remains below this um, horizontal line, then I'm going to be looking to see Euro GBP pushing down. All right. Then we look at GBP USD, and GBP USD is also bullish. Last week candle closed bullish, and then it is pushing up right now. So it is bullish. Our bias is more bullish neutral. It could get to some point and begin to push down because of this candle we had here, which it's usually a reversal candle. So the push up may not go too far before we see it pushing down again, but it is likely to get to this high 1.3998 thereabouts, 1.399 plus, okay, before it begins to push down. All right, so that's it. That for GBP USD. Let's look at GBP Jpy. GBP Jpy also it's normally uptrending, but looking at this candle of 2 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago candle, we have this bearish push, and it was an engulfing candle. But last week candle closed as indecision. Last week candle was an indecision candle, as you can see, and it's also still below this horizontal line. So as long as it remains below the horizontal line, I'll be looking to sell. But if it pushed above the horizontal line, I will see a close above the horizontal line, then it may continue up. As long as it remains below the 150.6 area, then we'll be expecting it to continue its way down. All right. So that's what we are going to be looking at. Let's see why we have the horizontal line. All right, so as long as it remains below this area, then we'll continue to look to sell. But if it pushes above it, then we can, look to buy. But this could mean some signals for reversal or retracement, big retracement, as we can see. This one had given us the high and low push, but this is the longest and it hasn't really pushed down. So it is possible for you to push towards this area before it continues up, even if you want to continue the push. However, it can also continue its way up here. So as long as it remains here, though, we'll look to sell. Euro Canadian Dollar. Looking at Euro Canadian Dollar, it looks like we are having a big push down, and then all of these are going up, but more like retracement. My bias remains bearish on this. I think if it gets up to some area, it is likely going to come down, but it is still pushing up now. We're not too sure of when it's going to stop. So the trend is down. This looks like some retracement to the trend. So when it is ready to push, we will look to sell it. Okay. So let's wait and see what is going to happen with it. It's likely going to get to all this area before it pushes down. But if it remains pushing up, all good and well. But let's see what level it's going to get to. I'm going to look at that on lower time frame. All right, so let's wait and see what it's going to do. Think above this area. I think above this area will look more credible for some big for it to continue the uptrend. But as long as it remains below that area, okay, as long as it remains below all this area, then I think it is still going to continue selling if it remains below here. But if it pushes above here, then we will think that this head and shoulder pattern is likely going to play out. So if it pushes above here, we'll be looking to buy. But if it remains below here, then that downtrend will continue its course. Okay, so let's go back to our weekly. All right, look, this one, last week candle was quite bearish, and so the bias is more bearish. Although looking at what happened here, you will see that there is a push above our 50 moving average, and it's even closed above this area. So all of this may be some retracement and not a full reversal. It may get to around where it is now and begin to push up, or maybe go down a little more and begin to push up. So in that case, I'm going to remain neutral until I see a clear direction. Yes, last week candle was bearish, and this candle is continuing bearish. Yes, it may continue bearish all the way down here, but if I'm not in the trade, and judging from the fact that this is an uptrending market, um, this may be some retracement to this uptrend, and we are not too sure if it's going to go to 50% of it, or it's going to just do like 20 something percent and move. So let's see. Let me use sorry. Okay, so I want to use fib retracement to check what level of retracement it has got to right now. All right, so it's around 30, 32, 32, 33% thereabouts. It may go all the way to 50%, and it is not impossible for it to turn back around where it is, or it could get to 38%, down here. 38% is somewhere around here. Okay, so you could get to this 38% and then push back up. So I'm gonna leave it and see how it's gonna go for this, because it's possible for US dollar to gain strength again. Yes, it is still weak right now, but it may gain strength. So we're gonna leave it and go. But for a short-term trader, you may see some buy sell to make before it is ready to push and continue its way up. Then we have Euro AUD. Euro AUD seems to be in a consolidation. Okay, it seems to be in this consolidating part, and I think I would wait to see a close below that support before I will look to sell. Okay, but bias is neutral, neutral bearish, so I'm going to remain neutral as long as it remains in this consolidation. But if I see it closing below the support, then I'll push in and start selling. Then I have Euro NZD. They all look kind of like the same with what we had with Euro AUD. As long as it remains in this consolidation, I'm not going to do anything. But if I see it closing above this mini resistance area, then I'm going to look to start buying. All right, and if it keeps pushing down and closes below this supports, okay, since we have some level of support here that's been touched a couple of times in the past, and so if it closes below the support, we will sell. Above this resistance, we'll buy. Okay, but for a short-term trader, you can still see opportunity to enter for buy and sell here. But for it to be in this consolidation, not a good time to jump in. Then let's see gold. All right, so gold. Last week gold candle was a bullish candle, so our bias is going to remain bullish, and up to this point it could get up to this point and begin to push down, or it could continue its way up after that. But my bias remains bullish with gold. We were looking at it 2 weeks before that if it closes above this red line, that we're going to expect push up, and yes, it closed above it, and right now it has closed just by our 50 moving average. Now closing by our 50 moving average could mean that this all pushed down, all of this were the retracement, and then it is ready to push to continue down. So it's going to remain bullish as long as it remains above the 50 moving average. But if it comes down below the 50 moving average, then we'll be expecting it to come all the way back down here. So we're going to keep our eyes on this and see how it plays out. Then we have USD Canadian Dollar. Okay, USD Canadian dollar has been quite bearish, all right? It's been bearish. Last week candle closed bearish, and then it has wick above it. However, it is like in a consolidation. As long as it remains around this area, we'll expect to see a change in direction. And looking, judging from the small candles that have been closing for the past 4 weeks, then this may be, we may see a change in the direction. We may see a change in the direction anytime soon. Okay, so we're going to wait to see what is going to happen with this too. While we keep our eyes on this part to see if there's going to be a close below the supports or if it is going to continue and changing direction from here. All right, so if it changes direction from here, we will expect US dollar to take charge and begin to get stronger, because especially because they are from the same zone. All right, it's however also possible for it to remain bearish and go all the way down to the supports around this area, or this major support down here. So we're going to wait and see how this plays out. However, in the meantime, we want to understand that this is bearish. The trend is bearish, and as long as the trend remains, it's going to continue to push down. But if the trend changes direction, then we'll go. Now there's a support down here that this has formed. It is around the support now, looking at, judging from the body of this particular candle. And then if it pushes down towards them, maybe it gets to this point. Now if it closes below this one, that's when I will believe that it's going to continue down. But if, as long as it continues playing around this place, then it is likely that this is ready to do a change in direction, first to this point and then maybe a total change in direction. So we're going to wait and see how this also goes. Australian dollar USD, it's uptrending, and last week candle closed up. However, it is also not impossible for us to see a change in direction, because it looks like a pattern is forming there. I'm seeing something like a small head and shoulder pattern, a swift pattern forming. Okay, so it is possible for us to see a change in direction anytime from where it is right now. So, and if there's going to be a change in direction, then we will expect to start looking to sell. But for now, it is still pushing up. I'm going to wait and we'll see how it plays out. If there's an opportunity for a change in direction, then we'll sell down to this point first. Okay, so we sell down to around this area first. That's it. So we set down to this point first, and then if it pushes down continuously, we will. But I think it will retrace down to this point before it continues its way. But right now, the trend is where? Up. And as long as the trend remains up, we'll keep buying. So if it remains up, we'll keep buying. It's only when we see a change in direction and it's coming to close below this mini support here that we will look to sell. Okay, this also looks same as what we have just seen in AUD USD. It is also pushing up. We've seen this push down, and it looks like it's continue its uptrend. This is an uptrending market. It's continue its uptrend trend. But if it doesn't go beyond some area around this area, like this mini resistance here, then it is likely going to change direction and continue down. But as long as it remains this way, we'll continue to buy. The trend is up for now. USD CHF. Okay, USD CHF has been downtrending. We have this big push down. The last candle closed bearish. Those small candle is bearish too. However, looking at this, it's been downtrending for quite some time. Then we have this huge engulfing candle breaking this area of we have a resistance here, and we have a resistance moving average that's also broke, and then all of this could just be some level of retracement. It can continue its way up and begin to push. So we will wait. We're not going to jump into the market, especially on Monday when the market is still setting up. We'll wait and see if this is going to change direction, and then that will mean that this is the new trend that has been formed, and these are some level of retracement to hit, and then we see the big push starting. All right, so that's basically some of the major pairs that we want to look at. Euro JPY is uptrending. It's been pushing up for quite some sometimes. Although we also can see that some level of consolidation has been happening for some weeks now. But judging from the fact that the candle that pushed out of this resistance, but an engulfing candle before we have all of this, could also mean that this is going to continue its way all the way up here. So bullish, neutral. That's my bias on that. AUD NZD. AUD NZD last 2 weeks candle were indecision candles, but the week before was a huge bearish candle. So if that happens, if that continues, and if it closes below this our resistance, our support trend line, then we will continue to look to sell it down here. Okay. So that will mean that there'll be a sell opportunity down here. But if it goes on and continues to push up, we'll also look to buy. But for now, it looks like there's likely going to be a change in this direction, which has been uptrending for some time. So this is likely going to come down. But the push may not be so down. So maybe it gets down somewhere here, and that will mean some, an uptrend forming itself, and then we have high and retracements. We have higher highs and higher lows like the normal uptrend, and so that would mean that this will be some retracement. It will not get all the way down here, but somewhere in between here. So if there's going to be any push down this week, it may not be too long before we see the change in direction. Gbp NZD, let's take a look at that. So okay, so Gbp NZD, we were seeing this and looking at the engulfing candle that closed this. Last week we were thinking there's going to be retracement down and then there will be this continuation. And so this is what we are seeing. Retracement last week candle was indecision, and we expect this to be a continuation of the uptrend. So likely this week we are going to see this continue and pushing up. So our bias is bullish on this. However, if there's a close below the support trend line, we may also continue to look to sell. So I'm going to place the support trend line like this. If it pushes down and closes below here, then we'll be looking to sell. So that's it. But basically for now, our bias is still bullish, and we are still going through with this one. We have an up and a retracement, and then we expect it to push up like this. Gbp Canadian Dollar. Gbp Canadian Dollar. Let's remove this first and take a look at it well. So we have this this line here, and it is likely going to push towards that line and then push down. Our bias remains bearish for this one. Looking at the candle that closed 2 weeks ago, our bias remained bearish, and if it closed above this area, then we will change our bias to bullish, but it is likely going to be bearish for sometimes before it pushes up. However, this may also be the real trend, this continuation that all of this were just retracement, and if that happens, then we'll wait to see a close above the 1.7415 area. All right. All right, so this one, we have this down here. We have a trend line break, and we have last week candle closing as indecision. Let me remove this so that we can see it clearly. Okay, so we have this break. We can see some retracement and then continuation of the downtrend. That's the bias. Downtrending is the bias. All right, so this is where I'm going to put a stop to the analysis for this week. If you have any question, you have any addition, you can put it in the comment section and I'll get to them. However, I want to remind you that you can still take advantage of the opportunity to join our academy, MS Africa Academy. We have the Forex Varsity that takes you from basic through advanced level of both day trading and swing trading, so that you learn it all. And we also have the day trading arcade, which takes you from basic to advanced level and even professional level of day trading. So whichever of these courses that you want to take, please reach out. I'm dropping my WhatsApp number in the detail to this video, so you can get a hold of it and chat me up for details on how to get started on the academy. I look forward to welcoming you to the academy. I also have a free day trading uh, webinar that I did yesterday, and I still have the replay up, so I'm going to give you access to the replay. You can click on the link on the detail below to get yourself access to a replay of how to um, hack the secret to consistent profit in day trading video. Right, thank you very much for being a part of today's class. Please do have a beautiful day ahead of you. Take care.